welcome to another episode of the Bearded Goods Podcast. My name is Brandon Smith. I'll be your host. Today, we sit down with Sara Beard. Sara's a longtime friend of mine. She goes into talking a little bit about a health cleanse that she's got going on now. She's been on a lot of trips here recently, and also a little bit while she's terrified of thunderstorms. So we'll dive in a little bit of that. But right now, we're rocking out to a little bit of Ace of Base. So you guys sit back and relax and enjoy. We should be okay to start recording.
Okay.
So what's up?
Hi.
We were rocking out to some Ace of Base.
All that she wants is another baby.
She's gone tomorrow,
boy. All that she wants. Love that song.
So what have you been up to? It's been a while since we've actually had a chance to sit down and hang out.
I know, it's been too long.
It has.
We used to hang out all the time. Sunday fun day.
We did used to have Sunday fun days.
For life. It was so
and
great.
Jenny was talking to me about it. She's like, because she started watching Game of Thrones.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, I remember when Sara would come over and you would get so mad because you couldn't understand what they were saying. And I would just like, whatever. Like, yeah, now you get it. Now you can't hear. You have to pay attention to like every word. But I do miss Sunday fun days.
So mad at us. And it only made me laugh harder. I mean, I knew that it was a loving anger, but
right, yeah, it wasn't like legit, like angry. You know, I was just like, shut the fuck up already.
And
like, I'm trying. And all y'all are waiting for is when Girls was on.
Yeah.
So y'all were just waiting for Girls to come on.
Or Bob's Burgers. Which I still love, by the way.
Yeah, I've been watching all of it.
It's so good.
It is so good. I hope it never gets canceled. I hope it's like The Simpsons or South Park.
You know what I love about it? I love every beginning where you get to see what the store next door is going to be named.
Yeah.
And then what the rat van is going to be.
Oh, yeah. Yep. The store and the rat van.
I love a pun. I think maybe that's why
I really wish I could be a writer on that show for their songs.
Yes.
Like just help them with the song. Well, they don't need help.
Sure.
Not like a woman to come in and swoop in and save the day for them. You know, that's not going to happen. I think
they have an ad on Craigslist.
Yeah, right.
Help us save our songs.
Yeah, help us. We need help. Bob's Burgers needs help. No, it doesn't. It's totally fine.
I think it's so funny and it's so well written. And every time I watch it, I think about when we used to all watch it together and you're Bob and Jenny's Linda and I'm Jean. When all I wanted to be was Tina and all you wanted to be was Jean and she wanted to be Louise.
Yeah.
So, like find your true self.
Yeah. Right. So I watched on your suggestion, I watched Schitt's Creek.
Please tell me that you love it, David.
I watched all of it. I binge watched it because we've been trying to get together for 2 weeks now.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And so when you guys were in New York and you told me about it, I literally started watching it that night. I binge watched it so I could be ready to talk about it with you. And then
I rewatched it so that I'd be ready to talk about it again. And because I love it.
It's so good. It is. So it really is. It's hilarious.
It's so well written. And I love the character development. I don't always think that you get that great of character development in like it's not a sitcom. It's probably more improv. But
it's like what I think they call, and I'm going to sound like I know what I'm talking about, and I totally don't. But I think it's what they call like a 3-camera.
Oh yes.
A 3-camera. So it's just basically almost filmed like a reality TV show. It's all on a set, but it's kind of like you always have like 3 different camera angles that you can pick from.
They're geniuses. They're all geniuses.
It's Canadian.
I love.
Did you know that the Twyla chick? Was his daughter?
No, she isn't. It's the bartender.
No.
Yeah.
It's Twyla.
Sarah Levy?
Yeah.
Is the bartender. Oh, Twyla, yes.
Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? Like,
wait, let's start again.
Hold on.
Say it again.
Eugene Levy's daughter is Twyla.
What?
Yeah. Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that.
I didn't know that. I thought you were talking about the girl in The Office.
Girl in The Office?
The one who owns the motel.
Oh, her? Yeah, no, that's not her.
I renamed her Twyla in my mind.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I love that show. I think it's so funny. I love the way they all talk. Moira's accent.
Moira. So I figured out like she just really concentrates on her A's.
Yes.
Like if you get really into
David. It would be a real travesty.
Yeah, and you have to really over-exaggerate.
And keep it
She kills
low.
it.
But then when she screams, I rewatched it and I forgot how much she'll just start screaming because something's disgusting.
Yeah. It sounds like Jenny when she sees like a cockroach or something.
Yes. Jenny's got a great scream.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a good one. And it got passed down.
Yeah. Oh, your kids have it?
Oh, yeah. London's definitely got it. Tatum, I think, is more chill.
You
She's
should
way more
have
chill.
seen London getting a haircut the other day. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen. I was at the color bar doing a foil, so I had a direct view of Jenny's station. And Jenny had to walk away to go get a phone call. And London was like, you know, you could see the inner dialogue just right on her face. Like, where's my mom?
Like, I'm a big girl. I can handle this.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Everything's fine. No big deal. Just kidding. Where's my mom?
Yeah, right.
So she
She's
like
looking
gets
around
up.
for a familiar face.
It was like a 4-minute process. She gets up, she looks, you know, she's like, no, it's going to be fine. I'm just going to sit here. She told me to sit here. She told me everything would be fine. I'm just going to sit here. So then she gets up again. So then she rips her cape off and just starts running towards the front. And luckily Jenny was turning a corner, but it was so funny. And Jenny said that London was like, you really had me worried.
Oh, London will guilt trip the shit out of Jenny. Lately her thing has been like to rip on you and then apologize really quick. Like she was like,
what's this about?
Yeah, it would be over something minuscule. It'll be like I had like a different dinner than they had last night or something, and like wasn't warmed up all the way, and so it's a little. Jenny be like, "How is it? Oh, it's a little cold," and then London will chime in, and she'll be like, "That's because mommy didn't warm it up enough." I'm just playing.
She's like trying out her comedy routine.
Yeah, like she's trying out bits now.
Are you wearing a Britney Spears shirt?
I am wearing a Britney Spears shirt.
I have that shirt.
Do you?
I do.
I love this shirt.
I got it at the concert where I went on stage. Me and Katie went on stage. Yep.
What, last week?
Oh, I wish. No, I was a senior in high school. I had to bark like a dog to try and meet Britney Spears, and Katie had to sing. And then a kid who seemed like he may be sick obviously won the opportunity to meet Britney Spears. But
right. They just wanted everybody else they needed everybody else for the show.
To make a fool of themselves.
Yeah.
I barked like a dog, though. I mean, I did it. I was committed.
I mean, that's full on commit right now. If somebody was like,
agreed.
bark like a dog, go get to meet Britney. I'm like, ooh, bald or not.
She's not the same, though. It's changed. She is so heavily medicated.
I would like to hang out with adult Britney.
All right. I mean, I get that. She's way less of a mess. She seems way more
I'd like
chill.
to talk to her now and find out, like, how she feels about everything.
I wonder how she does feel.
I do, too.
Because,
that's why I just said that.
Right. Well, then let me try again. Agreed, Brandon.
Agreed.
I agree with your sentiment.
I'm just being a dick.
I do feel like I would love to know what goes through her mind, though, because Justin is so famous. Like, so extra famous and loved in every field. People who like sports love Justin because he hosted the ESPYs. He can host award shows. He can sort of...
So, wait a minute. I'm so out of the loop with her. Who's Justin?
Timberlake?
They're together?
No, but they were, and then she cheated on him, and her career was never the same.
Okay, all right, so you're going back. All right, yeah.
I'm going way back.
Okay, all right. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, what are you talking? They're not together.
Sorry, you didn't take the trip with me.
I did not. You weren't like, hey, Brandon, let's take a journey. You were just like,
I never do. I just go there.
So Brittany and Justin, you know Justin, right?
You know Justin. Everybody knows Justin, right?
I got a man crush on Justin Timberlake, too.
Why wouldn't you? He's
awesome.
Delight.
He is hilarious.
And he's funny. He's sexy. He can sing. He's funny. Did you know he's funny?
I didn't know that. Some would say that he's hilarious.
I think someone did.
Someone might have.
I feel like it was you.
I don't know. It might have been. Could have been me.
I'm still not used to the headphones for everyone listening, if you are.
Yeah. Well, if they're listening, they heard that. If they're not listening, then they're not ever going to hear that.
You're so smart.
I know. I'm so smart. I'm cracking the whip all the time. They're like, Brandon, you're such a smart. And then, like, for something else, like Taylor's off. I just can't hear what else that comes out.
Yeah, you know.
So,
anywho,
I honestly like. So you grew up around here?
I did. I grew up in Raleigh.
In Raleigh?
Yep. Off of Mine Shaft Road, off of Sawmill.
Yeah.
On Mine Valley Court.
Familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my stomping grounds. That's where the tornado hit.
The tornado.
What
year did that come through?
1988. On November 28th, it's the 30th anniversary. My family's having a tornado party. Yeah, I remember that shit. It impacted my whole life. Yeah. And I'm only realizing it now in my mid to late 30s.
So what happened?
Okay, so it was the day after Thanksgiving.
Because all I know is that, here's what I know. And I claim to know you for a long time.
We've known each other for a decade. Happy anniversary.
That was a high five, in case you heard that.
No, they heard it. That was powerful.
That was powerful. So, and I really don't know what happened then. All I know is that you're terrified of cats, one. which is fine. Mm-hmm. And then thunderstorms.
Yeah.
They get you because of a tornado incident.
Yes.
So
I was 6 years old.
You were 6.
It was the day after Thanksgiving, and it was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and a tornado like ripped through our neighborhood and a lot of Raleigh. And obviously there was no warning because it was 1988. I mean, it's not like your TV turned back on and it was like, wow, wow. And it's Raleigh. We don't get a ton of tornadoes, so there was no sirens or anything. And I woke up to my sister screaming. And I was like, oh, what's that? So then it's like raining in my bedroom. There's glass all over the place. And I look up and my parents are running towards me. And then my door blows off and knocks them back into their room.
Hold on. So your door blew off?
Yeah. Because it was open because I was 6. I hadn't learned about privacy yet.
So, like, I guess what the storm had blown through, like, your window and like, in your house and stuff, and it was, like, blowing, like, the tornado was, like, legit there.
Like, in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I woke up to my sister screaming because all of her windows had blown in and she was trapped in her room. Like, her door was shut, so it suctioned it shut.
Oh, man.
My door was open, so it flew.
So it was like, I'm out.
Yeah. I was like, bye.
Bye.
Yeah. And it's so funny
6.
because...
That's London's age now.
Right.
I can only... She's terrified of, like, when the airplanes fly over our house.
Oh, my gosh. You want to give your kid anxiety... Find a tornado in the middle of the night.
Sure. You want to give your kid a lesson in swimming, find a pool.
Exactly. But you want real deep fear.
You want real deep
fear.
You go out in the middle of the woods at midnight and just leave them. Let them fend for themselves.
So my whole life, I thought like... I had dealt with this, you know, and that we talked about it a lot, but all we had talked about was the details. Like, I remember all of us getting into the bathroom because there was only like one interior bathroom at the upstairs of our house. And my dad was trying to get everybody's shoes and he couldn't remember. So there was like a moment of comedy because my mom was like, John, get the shoes, you know, and he's like, shoes, right. And the phone kept ringing because our neighbors wanted to see if we were okay and to come and stay with them. And we walked down the stairs. And I had a big cut on my foot because all the glass had blown in on me. And we're trying so hard to get like the front door open and to get out. Although that was just as scary. Like, what are you getting
like, what
out
are you
to?
like? What's out there's coming in here?
Right.
Like, why are we going out there?
And I just remember it so strongly. Like, I don't totally know what I had for breakfast yesterday, but I can tell you every moment of when I woke up to like 3 days later.
Right.
So then my mom goes, don't worry about the front door, John. The side of the goddamn house is blown off. And I was like, ooh, we got to cuss, you know, because you always remember that as a kid.
Shit is getting serious around the house.
So literally the side of our house was gone. So like where your kitchen and dining room areas, all that wall was gone.
Completely gone.
So we had to just jump through there. And my best friend Katie was our next door neighbor. We were going to go up to another neighbor's house, but a tree had fallen. So we went to our next door neighbor's house. And it felt, I don't know if it's true, but it felt like there was like 40 of us in there.
Right.
And everyone was just terrified and like trying to figure out what was going on. My cousin and my uncle, who lived like a mile or two up the road, had come by to try and find us. I mean, like, it was nuts. So again, for the last 20 years, I just thought, you know, like, I've dealt with this and I know what's going on because we talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
But I never talked about like my feelings surrounding it. It was just like utter terror. We were in the car one night when a really bad storm.
Yeah, it was my 30th birthday. Yeah. And I refused to sit at the house. And you guys, we're coming with you. I was like, you don't have to. And you're like, we're coming with you. I was like, okay.
Yeah. No, y'all picked me up. I walked out into it and I was like, oh God, what have I done? So, I mean, and I feel like that's the fallout from it. You know, if you were a tornado kid, you either like are almost a storm chaser or you're terrified or you're somewhere in between.
Much. It's a good call.
I mean, and probably like anyone could fall into that category, even if you weren't.
I wasn't a tornado kid, and I'm not, you know, I'm probably somewhere in between.
Yeah. So, but I've done a bunch of therapy over the last 2 years, and what I realized, how deep are we going?
As deep as you want to go.
Okay. What I realized is I made a decision at 6 years old. Well, I made 2 decisions. Number one was I didn't want to add any more burden or stress to my family. So I totally submerged any feelings that I had that were negative. So like I would have never been like, hey, I'm terrified, you know, like, so then anything that didn't feel positive became very shameful for me. And so I grew up my whole life like that. And then, you know, that probably led to me needing to become sober because I was just always trying to find ways to numb this overwhelming fear. And then also some part of me decided like you need to physically be able to withstand a storm. So
you need to be able to get. Yeah, you need to like be able to get away if you need to.
Yeah, like a baby was blown out of their house. Like the baby survived, but it wasn't in the house anymore. 2 kids from my school died.
Really?
Oh, it was bad. It's fucking bad.
It was bad.
Really bad.
It was seriously, guys. That is. Real. I mean, I don't mean to lessen anything that happened to those people, but I mean, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I haven't really been through any storm or anything like that in my life.
Yeah.
That I could relate to you on. The only thing I could say that actually gave me some kind of trauma that I can, like, my brain lets me remember,
right,
of not my own doing, where I was totally out of control, was when I was in that car accident.
Oh yeah.
And we were going down 540, and
so scary.
I didn't have my seatbelt on. My seat was laid back. My buddy was driving. He had his seatbelt on. Yeah, and he had his seatbelt on, and the chick in the back seat didn't have anything. She was passed out because we had all stayed up late. Me and my buddy had stayed up late that night before, plagiarizing this this speech that we were stupid. I think it was like a president's speech about Vietnam, and we just like took clips out of it. We're like, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good. And I was like, do mine too. And he was like, all right. Blah, 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 blah. And so we turned in speeches, and the teacher was like, yeah, you're going to rewrite these.
Yeah, no.
And we're like, all right. So we were on the way back home, but we had stayed up all night.
How old were you?
Messing around. 17.
Yeah.
And we had stayed up all night messing around, and we're like finally buckled down and got the paper done. Mm-hmm. And well, done in quotations, stole it. And you're like, how can we make this paragraph go with this paragraph? You're right. And then
conjunctions.
Boom. Oh, I'm a genius. So we had stayed up late. We're driving back from Chapel Hill, and we're all tired. I passed out. The girl in the back seat passed out. And my buddy was doing all right. And then, like, I remember waking up very, very, very
just nodded
briefly.
Just want to say that, and I nodded to you. No one can see you, Sarah.
Nobody can see your head nod,
right,
Sarah.
So you passed out.
So I passed out. I came to briefly when he drifted off the road, off the side. And I was like, and he brought it back. I was like, all right, he brought it back. And I instantly laid back down. But then he went straight to the other side of the road, woke up, and then jerked the wheel. And we went up the embankment. And that's when I woke up, was when we hit the embankment. And I popped my head up, and I remember him pulling the wheel and the car starting to slide sideways. And then I see, like, the last thing I remember thinking was, don't flip over, don't flip over, don't flip over. And then, like, 540, like, in my view, just starts flipping. Yeah. And I'm like, yep, we're flipping. So I throw my arms up, and then I knock myself out on the sunroof, which thank God wasn't open.
Thank God.
Yeah, and it was like totally closed, so I didn't even hit the glass. They he had the little visor thing closed too, but it knocked me out there. And then when I came to, the girl in the back seat had blood spurting out of her head, and then my buddy, who's my best friend, I thought he was dead. Like that was it. Like he wasn't moving. Didn't look like he was breathing.
Shock?
Oh, yeah, it was totally like one of those movie moments. Like, I grabbed his head to forehead, thought I was saying goodbye to a buddy of mine. And then he like, yeah, making me cry. And then he comes to, and the first fucking thing he says was hit the button. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, hit the button. I'm like, what button? He's like, the button. I'm like, what button are you talking about? I was like, the AC? It's not going to work right now. You can't turn the radio down.
It's over.
It's done. And he's like, hit the button. I finally figured out he was talking about the seatbelt. Because he's upside down.
Okay.
So I get him out, and then the girl in the back seat starts coming to.
Oh, she was knocked out too?
She was out cold, and then she came to, but she had apparently done some type of drugs a couple days prior that were still in her system, and like I guess like kicked back through, so she started freaking out and like clawing at her head, which is where the cut was.
No.
Yeah, it was bad. That was kind of scary to see. And then I helped get her out the back window and my buddy out the back window, but the car was crushed, so I was too big to fit out the back window. But
holding it.
But my passenger seat. The passenger side window wasn't busted yet. Right. So I'm sitting there and I'm up against the window. Like my face is probably 3 inches away from the window. And I see feet and then I see a hammer. And so I just duck, and this guy hits the window with the hammer, and I'm screaming at him to stop.
You're like, I'm right here.
Because paramedics aren't there yet. This is all people on the side of the road. Paramedics haven't shown up yet. So they're screaming. I'm screaming at this guy to stop hitting the window, stop hitting the window, stop hitting the window. Paramedics start showing up, and then he hits the window one more time, and the window shatters onto my face. And so I reach my arm out the window and I flip him off. I was like, if I can't fit out the back window, I should think I'm fitting out this window. Because I mean, it was still like partially crushed, but the glass hadn't broken.
And they were trying to help. But...
They were trying. I know the guy was just trying to help, but Jesus Christ, man, let people.
On top of
I don't. You're not gonna be like. I'm not gonna like. We're not gonna become friends after this. I'm not gonna go on any.
Be a hero
I'm not gonna go any fishing trips with you. You know, this isn't happening. Like this buddy thing that you kind of. Yeah, right. I'm not gonna be your little token guy that you can hold up and like, oh, I saved this guy's. No, fuck off, man.
Right. Bye.
I appreciate the attempt, but listen to the person you're trying to save.
The person screaming.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't think about just yourself.
Being a hero.
Yeah. And so anyway, I managed to squeeze out the back window. And at that point, they had the girl on a stretcher in the back of an ambulance. And my friend was standing up on his cell phone, just talking, walking up on the side there, just talking. And I was like, what in the world is going on? And you got your phone going off? Or is it my phone?
I think it's you.
Is it?
It might be me.
It might be me. Anyway, he's sitting there talking on his phone. I don't understand. I can't understand, like, what in the world's going on. And because as soon as I peeked my head out the back, the paramedics were like, stop, don't move, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm a big guy. And I didn't feel any pain. I mean, I messed my right shoulder up pretty bad. I don't know what happened. I didn't have insurance or money to find out really what's going on there. So now I just can't lift too much weight with it, and I'm fine.
Right.
Until I get older, and then I can't use it at all anymore.
Right.
And
then you get a shoulder replacement.
Yeah, I just get a shoulder replacement. But so then they come and they like almost basically tackle me, and then they cut my pants off. I was pissed. I just bought them. No, it's fine. I didn't say it for you not to laugh. I mean, but they cut my fucking pants off. I just bought those pants, and like at 17, when you spend $60 on a pair of pants, like
you're like, those are American Eagle.
Well, the American Eagle didn't make my size.
Those are something else.
Those were Belk or whatever.
Yes, I also shopped there.
But yeah, they cut my pants off, and they still didn't put my buddy in a stretcher. So I'm strapped to a board. I can't move. My head's like stiff.
Like, why is he up?
And I'm 18 at this point because he didn't notify my parents because I'm an adult. So nobody told my mom. So one of my girlfriend at the time had to call my mom, and
that's an awful call to have to make.
Yeah, right. And I'd only been dating that girl for like a month.
She's like,
at
this
most.
is a lot of responsibility, Brandon.
I think we broke up shortly after.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Like,
she's better
okay.
off. I'm probably better off too.
Yeah.
But
I'd say definitely.
Well, no, I'd definitely say definitely. But yes, they didn't put him down on a stretcher. He was in the back of the ambulance, and he was like, "Hey, my neck and stuff is really hurting.
The driver.
Can I get put on a stretcher?" And they're like, yeah.
Did they think you had been driving?
No.
They just forgot.
They just forgot about my buddy. Now, my buddy had glass sticking out of his hand, a broken collarbone, and was walking around. They never put him in a stretcher or anything.
They're like, he seems fine.
Yeah, he seems fine. Let's strap the big guy down. Meanwhile, the only person who was actually, I came to first.
Right.
I braced for fucking impact. All right. I took the most minimal amount of damage. I got everybody out of the car, and then I got myself out, and then they're tackling my ass like I'm everything's
You got attacked
wrong.
by a hammer.
Right. I got attacked by a hammer.
Strapped to a board.
My pants were cut off of me.
Your new pants.
God.
And just getting your pants cut off doesn't feel.
That's not
doesn't make you feel super confident.
No, and not at 18.
No,
not at 34 either.
No. At 35, I'll be 36 on Tuesday. If somebody cut my pants off today, I would be like, no, thank you.
I don't want that to happen.
I love these leggings.
But anyway.
Let's be real. They're not pants. They're leggings.
Right. Mine are stretchy now, too.
They feel so good.
They're so great. They make like pajama jeans for dudes, and
why didn't this exist when we were in high school?
Why hasn't this existed in general?
My whole life I've been waiting for stretchy pants.
But yeah, I couldn't pass out in cars and stuff for a while. I couldn't sleep in a car.
Oh, I bet.
On road trips.
I still don't take left-hand turns because of by choice. Like, if I can avoid it, I don't take a left-hand turn because of an accident I got into when I was 17.
Really?
Oh, I just nailed this lady. I got into 2 accidents within 6 months of getting my license. But they were not traumatic like yours were. They were slightly traumatic, but like...
Well, that's the worst one I've been in. I've been in like a lot lighter ones where I've just had fender benders. Not even fender benders, just bump into the back end of somebody.
Oh, no, I nailed her. But it was a little bit her fault, too. But since I was young, she just manipulated the whole situation.
Oh, she's a pro.
Oh, she was such a pro. It blew my glasses off. And there's nothing more disoriented. And talk about like a movie. I'm like spinning around in Falls of News traffic, like where Tilted Kilt used to be. And my music stopped. And you know how loud you listen to music.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Still, but especially back then. I mean, I was listening to Uchiwali and I got like knocked into oblivion. But it paused my music. And as I'm spinning, it's silent and it's slow motion. And it was right when they changed over how you could get your license. So if you got into an accident in your probationary period, you couldn't get your real license. And that's all I was thinking about. I was like, damn it. I just want my license.
I had to wait till I was 18 to get my license.
How come?
Stupidity partially on my part, and then
that's an answer.
Yeah, like by the time I was even eligible grades wise to get my permit, like if I would have had it a year, I would have waited till after I was 18 to get my license, so and I was like, "There's no point." Like,
did you have to go to like driving school?
Yeah, I went to the whole driver's ed thing. I
wondered if you had to do that if you're past 18, or if they were just like,
well,
yeah,
no,
you're
I
probably
took
fine.
it, but I mean, I took all that before I was 18.
Okay.
But like, so I passed the driving test and all that. I was eligible to get my license, but I didn't get my license.
I gotcha.
I wasn't eligible. I was eligible. I passed the class, but I wasn't eligible until I was like 17 and like a half almost. And I was like, I'll just wait 6 more months. My buddy Jordan's got a car.
Did you have any restrictions in the car with him on your license?
When I got it, no, I didn't have. There was no restrictions on it whatsoever. It was before they made it like you had to be home by 9 o'clock.
Yes, unless you were working.
Yeah,
and then you had to have a note from your job.
So I didn't have to deal with all that. I never dealt with all that stuff.
I missed the deadline of avoiding that by like 3 days, I feel like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We got lucky. Got real lucky. Because it could be a lot worse.
Sure.
That would
suck. You probably shouldn't drive until you're 18.
I mean, I'm going to tell you honestly, I didn't do anything I was supposed to do after 9 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like, I should have been at home.
No.
I was out street racing and getting into stupid fights with people.
Yes. I was chain smoking cigarettes, singing in my car. I was always singing in my car. And then trying to bathe in antibacterial Bath and Body Works soap so that my parents wouldn't know that I smoked. Hey, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, right. I wasn't that crazy. Like, I might have done some dumb things, but I don't feel like I was out trying to hide stuff from anybody. Like, I really wasn't into drugs. I wasn't into partying. I never really got into all that until I got to be like 21.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I did it, I guess you could say the right way.
Yeah.
Like, I smoked cigarettes. I didn't even really start smoking cigarettes till I was like 17, almost 18.
Yeah.
Like, I was, by the time I started, like, you could say smoking, I was able to buy my own pack of cigarettes.
Right.
So
I had to lie.
That was never a problem. I never went and was like trying to get drunk and get fucked up all the time. That wasn't me. We were always like I was either hanging out at my buddy Jordan's house and we were doing dumb shit on AOL chat rooms.
Right.
And doing, dumb shit on AOL chat rooms.
So were me and my friends.
Yeah. And
talking to much older gentlemen.
I think we were talking to much older gentlemen too.
Yeah. That's the only fun thing to do.
I think everybody on the internet's a much older gentleman.
I think so too.
Yeah, I don't think
and everybody else is 14.
Yeah, everybody else is 14. Or Chris Hansen.
Right. That would be so terrifying.
But yeah, it was either that or I was hanging out with my buddy James and we would just ride up and down Capitol Boulevard and race our Honda Civics.
Badass.
Yeah. The real me's coming out, baby. I would still to this day take another 92 Honda Civic hatchback to have as a little fun get around car.
I had a 96 Toyota Camry that I wrecked immediately.
Was that your first car?
Uh-huh.
How did you get it? Did you have to buy it or did your parents get it?
My mom had that car and she was going to get a new car. So I had to pay them monthly payments. And you're young and stupid and you don't understand money. Like, I really wanted that money back when I wrecked that car.
Like, I don't get it. Why am I not
What happened?
I'm not getting any money back.
Why are you getting the money? He's like, it's my car, Sarah. And I'm like, I don't think it is.
It totally is.
And you wrecked it. And I'm like, right.
How did you wreck it?
It was that Falls of News accident.
Oh, was that Falls of News accident?
So she had pulled out from the bank across the way in the left-hand turning lane. And then at the last second, and I'm trying to take a left on a yellow light, at the last second came over to run the light. So I just like T-boned her.
Ooh, that's a good way to wreck it.
It was. And she kept calling me she kept saying to me, what if my kid was in the car? What if my kid was in the car? And I was like, right. But
what
not,
if,
right?
But, yeah, but they're not, right? So
you seem fine.
Yeah, everything's okay.
My glasses blew off, lady.
I was racing a guy one time in my little hatchback, and I came up around this, like, it was like a turn that's like up a hill and then back down a hill, and it was a turn to the right. So like you come up the hill and you're turning, and you come back down and you're still turning. So I came up this hill with a little bit too much speed. So when I started coming back down, my car lifted a little bit and the ass end spun around. And at the bottom of this hill where it flattens out and goes straight was a train track. And there was a train going. And I was like, oh my God.
This story just got a lot more dramatic.
And I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do? The guy I was racing let off for good reason. He obviously is way smarter than I am. And
I'm going to win.
Yeah, he let off, and I drifted my car, spun around, went into oncoming traffic lanes, but no traffic was coming because the train was going. And I ended up hitting this sign in front of the Court Furniture Rental. And not the Court Furniture Rental sign, but it was like one of the street signs for like the bus stop or something like that.
Gosh.
And I just tail ended into it, and it ripped my back bumper down and bent the sign. So I just pulled forward, pulled my back bumper up, and popped it back in and pulled off.
Left.
And the guy who I was racing worked like right across the street from there, and he got out and just looked at me and just walked inside. I'm like, dude, you couldn't even ask if like I was okay, if like everything was fine. Like, it's like, I get what
I'm a child.
like, I'm 18 here, man. I think he was like 19 though, so.
Right. He didn't have much more empathy at that point.
No. I mean, I honestly wouldn't have cared if that. Well, no, I can't say that. Because I would have stopped, ran over to him, made sure everything was okay.
Right?
Yeah, everything okay, buddy? That's not the first time I spun that car out either. I spun it out going around a turn on Buffalo Road. And I went into oncoming traffic because this is a light car.
Oh, yeah.
And it was wet outside. And I was probably going too fast.
Right.
I mean, let's not say probably. I was going too fast.
Definitely.
And my buddy was with me, and we spun and started sliding towards oncoming traffic. And just as we did, I saw a dump truck coming the other way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I was able to get the car under control from spinning out, and I landed it in a way where I can get back into my lanes.
Should you drive?
I mean, at this point, yeah. Back then, not at all. I was dumb.
I know.
Dumb.
Me too. I used to hit shopping
I had a
carts.
BMW. I had a little BMW, little two-door 80s model BMW 325.
Humble brag.
Yeah. Well, no, I got it for $700. It was a piece of shit. Had a huge dent in the back.
Right.
And I was making a U-turn, and I went around the U-turn, and I just gassed it too hard, and the ass end spun out because it's rear-wheel drive, and ended up teetering on this embankment. You know how like you'll have like 2-lane roads, and they have like that mound in the middle. Well, I'm teetering on that mound, like because my car bottomed out. So I can't drive off of it. I can't go forward. I can't go backwards. I can't push it. I'm just
in your own
stuck.
shame.
Right. And my house where I live at that point is literally, I can see it. It's like a block up the road. And so luckily this Hispanic guy pulled over because they were building down there off Durant Road. They were building Bedford.
Yeah.
And this Hispanic guy pulled over. He's like, you need some help? I was like, yes. He just throws the rope, pulls me off. And then pulls me off. Amigo. And then I pull back into my driveway, and my radiator's just pouring out. And I'm just like, fuck, man. I don't have BMW radiator money. I didn't even have BMW $700 money.
Where did you get it?
But I've had a lot of cars.
Name them.
Name them? Oh, God. I had a Honda Civic, and then I had
Do you name your cars?
No. They were just
because they die too quickly?
Yeah. I don't care enough about them keeping my life that long.
My car's name is Jane Honda.
Jane Honda?
Yeah. She's a real political activist.
Does she have a TV show?
She's hardly aged, I'll say that.
Barely. Oh, gosh.
I've been traveling like crazy and just eating whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And so I just needed to like come back to reality. And it's like this level 2 detox, which should have been my first warning that like maybe it wasn't for me.
Because it starts at level 2?
Right. Where was level 1?
That wasn't as part of level 1.
I mean, but I had done like 3 juice cleanses, so I felt very ready.
You were like, I've got this.
I did
totally
feel like I had that. And so I started it. And not only that, it's 5 days long. So it's to rid your body of candida. It's to like reassess, get the healthy bacteria back into
candida?
your gut. Yeast.
Okay.
For the layman.
That'd be me. And probably most of the people who are listening.
Candida is yeast.
Candida.
Yeah. Your body, candida eats sugar. So for a lot of people, it can manifest like it's not just for your lady.
It sounds like candy.
Yeah. Right. I think that's why they named it that. But like it can affect your thoughts and it can almost act like ADHD. So that's what it does for me. It gives me super dark thoughts and I'm a pretty positive person and it makes me unable to focus on anything. So like sugar is not my friend. So I was like, I'll do a cleanse. And they got me on Instagram. I'm such an Instagram shopper. I was like, beautiful. This sounds like a good way to start
it. Oh, is it one of those? You're not going to try and sell me on this at the end of it? No,
I'm not going to read or watch my stories on Instagram. I don't think anybody's going to buy this after I've done it. But it is so gross. It's so gross. Now, there are things that I love about it.
Just taste bad?
Yes. So every morning you get up and you dry brush yourself. Do you know what that is? It looks like a toilet brush cleaner, but it's like you dry brush your whole body and it gets rid of the toxins on your skin and then you take a shower.
Toxins?
I mean, everybody has so many toxins in their body. And so that's one way for them to come up and out.
Uh-huh.
So.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. I can sense you're not on board, but anyway.
No, I'm not saying I'm not on board. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical of everything.
Yes.
Plus that's where I find shit funny.
Yes. So then you go
scrub yourself with a toilet brush to get rid of toxins.
Toe to tip. So get rid of the toxins. And then you go downstairs and you drink what's called beauty water, which tastes like 1,000 roses, but it's got like 72 trace minerals in there just to like make your body as healthy as humanly possible. Then the first day,
trace minerals do you know?
Listen, I don't care that much about details. I was like, all right, check.
So they just sell you on the buzzwords.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Have we met?
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
And then I take morning like supplements and probiotics and stuff. And then I ate a disgusting plate of cold food. And that's what I've learned through this. I don't want a plate of cold food ever. I want a plate of hot food or like soup or something. And it was all cold and it's just so much chewing and like it tastes so gross. It's as earthy and crunchy as you can imagine. And then it tells you what each thing is doing. So with every bite, I'm like, ugh, it's just. So I really think cleanse means ultimate anorexia because eventually you just stop eating what they've sent you because you're like, I can't
don't want to eat this. I can't eat this anymore. Right. Then you're like, it sounds good. That drive-through sounds really good.
Oh my God. I have been fantasizing about like a wing eating contest for like 3 days. I just want to take them down.
You just want to eat. You just want to get in a wing eating contest.
And then last night, as I was drinking my coconut kefir, which is a probiotic drink,
kefir,
it tastes like bread. It's disgusting. No one wants to drink bread.
So where does coconut come in?
I guess the kefir comes from the coconut.
What's kefir?
I think it's like a probiotic. It's like fermented something coconut. One might guess.
Okay.
And I was watching the Great British Baking Show and I was like, what are you doing, you masochist? Like this is all you're going to have tonight. Stop watching them make these beautiful tarts. So, but I feel great.
Yeah?
Oh my gosh.
That's important.
My skin feels great.
That's what matters.
I've been sleeping well. I feel like I've lost at least 10 pounds. So it served its purpose. And what I keep trying to tell myself is like, nobody's like, oh my God, that detox was amazing. All my meals were delicious. No one ever said that. So
yeah, nobody ever hops out.
My positivity is high. So it's like, I want to enjoy this. And it is not palatable.
Well, I mean, you have to, it's partially it's a mental game.
Yes.
You have to be like, I'm psyched to do this. I'm psyched to put this horrible tasting crap.
I was super psyched to drink my really chunky green juice this morning. Said no one ever.
I mean, maybe.
Was a dip.
It's like, where are my nachos?
Yes, but you're drinking
This
it.
guacamole looks great.
Like, this juice needs a spoon. But I finished it, and then I posted on Instagram with "We are the champions."
So you finished out the cleanse?
No, this is day 4 of 5.
Day 4 of 5.
Yeah, so I have a cleansing carrot soup for lunch. I can feel your jealousy.
Oh, totally jealous, because I've had a glass of milk.
Yum.
And some pasta.
That sounds great.
I mean, it wasn't bad.
What'd you eat yesterday?
I had some pasta.
Do you see me drooling?
And a glass of milk.
Yum. That sounds amazing.
No, I'm working a lot. Doing a lot of work.
Like with everything?
Yeah, well, no, just like in general. Like, I feel like I'm working all the time. Well, the rain this week has kept me from being able to get out and go work, which is part of the reason why I had to work like a half day today.
Right.
So that I can make up for some of those hours.
This week was so wet. I hated it.
Yeah.
I am solar powered.
Yeah. Once it starts raining, I shut down.
Fucks your job up a lot.
Yeah. Well, it just depends on how hard the rain is. If it's not raining too bad, it's not too hard to get out there and do it.
Do you love what you do now?
I like it more than what I thought I would.
Good.
Like, if we were lining up jobs and this was up there and you were like, Brandon, you can pick a job, I would totally skip over this job.
Sure.
In that sense.
Okay.
I kind of landed here and then it just kind of clicked. And like, I guess it fulfills that part of me that likes to be outside and go out and camp and hike around and be in the woods. And like that kid in me that still wants to go out and do all that stuff.
Right.
Like, I can't do that if I work what I think like a normal job, and I have this, and I'm doing the podcast, and I'm trying to, do open mics.
Right.
I don't have time to get out there and go wander around in the woods and have a good time.
Right.
Doing this job lets you do that, but you kind of like directionally wandering, like you know where you're going.
Yeah.
But you still get to see stuff. I mean, that deer skull that we have in there, I found that out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, you come across things all the time that are just interesting, and you're like, how did this get out here?
You seem better out in the world than like stuck inside.
Yeah. I can't be stuck inside unless I really enjoy what I was doing. Like, I really enjoyed when I worked in radio. I thoroughly enjoyed doing that.
Right.
And that's an inside job, 99% of it.
But it's talking to people in a way where people aren't needing
I wasn't even really talking to people. I was just trying to figure out how to do everything.
Right.
Because my whole time spent there, like, by the time I actually got on the air, they pulled me like almost right off. By the time I was actually like getting live, he was like,
this isn't working.
Yeah, but like my pre-recorded stuff was always pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, when I did, they would let me go live when I did traffic. But that's because I'm good at short-term banter and reading scripts.
Yeah.
It's not hard. Short-term banter, I can jump in with a little quick joke and be like, oh, from the blah, 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 blah traffic center, and then tell the traffic, yeah.
Brandon Keith on the radio.
Brandon Keith, Moose,
BK. I don't know if I could do radio. I enjoy this because I like you and I like talking to you.
Yeah.
And my job basically is talking to people, whether it's clients or
I know.
like
because Jenny never talks to me when she comes home, and she's like, "It's because I talk to people all day," and I found happiness and peace in that. I'm like, you know what? That's fine. I get it. If you want to shut down completely and just not talk, if that's what makes you happy and keeps you happy, you do that.
My ex and I broke up 2 months ago, but before that, he would come home and like I would be sitting in my kitchen with all the lights off, just like a complete psychopath. Because when you talk all day long, you just need like a moment to decompress. And he was like, are you depressed? And I was like, I've never been happier. Because it's like,
don't want to talk right now.
Don't talk to me. Because it's stimulation all day long, just over and over in any source. But I do like personal, I'm the director of mentoring, and I love that. I love helping people find out who they are and help them grow. And that's my favorite. But I don't know.
So what's your ideal? Like, if you could do like what's your ideal job?
I'm doing it.
You are doing it. You're living your moment, your life.
I am. I took a class 2 years ago called Strengths Finders, and like part of what they say.
Is this when you guys texted me? You and Jenny texted me. You're like, you got to download this app.
Yes.
Okay.
And I still think that you should.
I mean, I have the app, but I haven't done it yet.
Do it. We can have a one-on-one. I'll help you find your dreams. But like, that's truly what I feel passionate about. And what I walked away from that class with was I'm on the right metaphorical bus in the right seat, you know, like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And it was really interesting to watch the people realizing that they're not doing what they're suited for. Like this one poor lady was like hated conflict, and she was like, I'm the manager and everyone hates me. And you're like, oh no, boo. No wonder you're miserable. Yeah. No, I love doing this. If there were a way to make it larger, that's the only thing that I would love to be able to do, like to do it with everyone. But you know, not everybody wants a director of mentoring. Not everybody wants to dig deep and find themselves. And so, but I love it. I'm a Scorpio, so I can go as deep as you want to go. I fear nothing when it comes to conversations or like ripping my guts out. So
it's taken me a little bit to get to that point, but I've never really been one to shy away from talking deep.
No, you haven't. No,
I always feel like it's like good.
I think so too.
I like it.
Like there are surface relationships in my life that I appreciate, but most of what I look for is like deep, meaningful
I think
connection.
The older you get, that's the more what you want. You've had all the superficial stuff.
Right. The reason that it's fun for us to talk about Britney Spears is that because I know you. We've seen each other at our worst and at our best. And like, you know, thank God that we met through Jenny, because I totally value this friendship. And I love that we can not see each other and then just jump right back in. But if we didn't really know each other, that Britney Spears conversation wouldn't take us very far.
No, it wouldn't.
It really wouldn't. And because that doesn't even remotely appeal to me anymore. I love meeting a stranger and like chatting it up for 10 minutes and then never seeing each other again. But I don't like that surface level conversation.
You know what's the worst is the surface level conversation that you're forced into. So like what I mean by that would be I had a conversation with a lady at the gas station about my Britney Spears shirt.
Yes.
And
it's popular.
Yeah, it is. It's a very
real
popular
conversation
shirt.
Starter.
She was like, is that a Britney Spears shirt? I said, why, yes, it is. She goes, that's funny. You don't strike me as the kind of guy who would wear a Britney Spears shirt.
Did you say, how dare you?
I said, you're right. I probably don't look like the kind of guy. She goes, yeah, you look like a good old country boy. I was like, I am far from that. I was born and raised in the city, but I have a lot of roots in the country. But now I'm going to have to talk to her again. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, right. I don't mind that. I mean, she's one of the nicer ones. There's this new lady up there who she has all good intentions. She's just nice. I'm just not a morning person. In the morning, I don't need any more than good morning. Yeah. Morning. Thank you.
Like, I didn't talk to my family. I don't want to talk to you.
Bye.
Right.
See you tomorrow. All right. Take care. That's it. That's like all I need. This lady's like, hey, hon, how you doing this morning? The sun's shining, the birds just chirping. We're up and out here talking. I'm like, just shut the fuck up, lady.
I just want some coffee.
Just ring up my guilt Twinkies and let me get the fuck out of here, okay?
Guilt Twinkies.
I want my chocolate milk and my guilt Twinkies, and then I want to ride to work. That's what I want.
Don't get me wrong. I love familiarity. I love walking in somewhere and somebody knows who I am. And
I like it, but like there's just when they start getting too deep. Yeah. And it's not their fault.
Feel my vibe. My fault. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, it's my fault.
I get it.
Because I get very like once I get excited about something, like if I was going to do it, like I was going to do an open mic at Good Nights like almost a month ago because it's like one of the last times I went up there. And I was on the way out and I stopped at the gas station and I was excited because I don't get on the list that often. So I was happy to go out there. And she's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, and I made the mistake of going, I'm going to do stand-up. It goes, you do stand-up? I was like, well, I try. And then, oh my God, every time I've gone in there,
Tell me a joke.
You been doing any more shows? I was like, I haven't booked a single fucking show yet.
You're like, now you're making me feel bad about myself.
Like, stop. Now you took what I was all excited about and you turned it against me. And now I can't come in here and get my guilt Twinkies.
I love it. Twinkies.
It's this weird new thing. Oh, it'll pass.
All right. I'm more of a Little Debbie person.
Well, yeah.
I love a zebra cake.
I like. I saw that came out now. Yeah. The Christmas cakes. Oh, the Christmas cakes are out.
Oh, good.
I'll have to get me one of those. They're 2 for $2.22.
Is that a deal?
I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like they should be 50 cents.
If
I have to break $1, yeah. If I have to break $1, you
have to break a 5.
Yeah.
Or have a lot of change in your car.
Yeah.
I do love. That's the kind of food that I love. Little Debbie's.
Yeah.
and
I'm
fast
not
food.
a candy person.
No, me either.
I don't
chocolate.
Oh yeah, I can go get like Reese cups, but
Yeah.
like I can't do like I don't like M&Ms. I'm not a big M&M guy.
We have them at the salon, and so I don't desire them anymore.
We have
it's been 15 years.
We have a ton of Gatorades at our work because they want us to stay hydrated.
Sure.
And it's a nice thing to offer.
Absolutely.
And you see it happen all the time. The new guys come in and they're like, oh yeah, Gatorade. And then like a month later, they're like, I just can't drink any more Gatorade. I'm like, yeah you're done, right?
Forever.
Like, you just want water now, right? Yeah, because it's 112 fucking degrees out here.
And water's actually hydrating.
Yeah, water's actually doing something.
Gatorade makes me thirstier than I've ever been in my whole life.
It just makes me feel sick.
Yeah.
Like I can't drink it and be like, feel hydrated.
No.
I don't like, I have to drink water when it gets really hot like that. I've got this book bag that's got a 3-liter Camelback in it.
Yes.
And I've gone through those. I go through like 2 of those in a day.
Like this thing? Like that? Okay.
Yeah, a little thing over the shoulder.
Sorry, acting it out.
No, you're fine. It's okay, Sarah.
I keep forgetting we're on the radio.
Kinda. Oh, so you have any big plans coming up? Or are you kind of done with the traveling and everything now?
I'm going to New Orleans in January.
Nolans?
And I've never been to Nolans before.
Never been to Nolans?
All I want to do is a ghost tour.
Do it.
I want to be scared.
Do a ghost tour, come back, and we'll do a ghost episode.
I can't wait. Because, I love ghosts. I love the afterlife. Grew up watching the Beetlejuice cartoon and the Beetlejuice movie, so couldn't
Funny
be more
thing
obsessed.
about the Beetlejuice cartoon, whenever that comes up, and my only real like solid memory of it was I used to get grounded a lot, and my parents they took the cable from the back of the TV and they cut it, and they made 2 male ends and made the one out of the TV a female end. So you had to plug into the TV and plug into the wall to get the TV to work.
Oh my gosh,
Right?
that's
I was
so
a bad
extra.
Kid. Yeah, well, I mean they could ground me from the TV, but nobody was there to enforce it. So I would cut the TV on and watch it until 30 minutes before she was supposed to get
I just thought that's what was supposed to happen anyways. If you leave me by myself, there are no rules.
Right. So anyway, I found where they hid it under their mattress and plugged it in the wall. Well, first things first, I plugged one end into the wall and I licked the other end. That was dumb. Yeah. I shouldn't have been left alone. I should not have been left alone.
How old are you?
I want to say I was probably like 10, maybe 11.
I love it.
And
that feels too old to lick one of the ends.
Yeah, probably. But anyway, so Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
I would get grounded a lot, and I had a boombox that I could record, and I had blank cassette tapes. So I would literally, preemptively knowing that I was going to be grounded at some point, would record the audio from these Beetlejuice cartoons.
Yes.
So I had these tapes, and I really wish I could find them. I had these tapes of the audio of the Beetlejuice cartoons
Just
so that when I got grounded, I could listen to the audio from the Beetlejuice cartoon and pretend like I was watching it.
You're so smart.
But there's also other things like, yeah, that's a pretty smart thing to do.
Pretty smart.
But at the same time, you got to look at it like he knew he was going to get grounded again. So he's just being preemptive. He's like, I'm inevitably going to fuck up.
That's some next level shit right there. Like you knew who you were and you accepted it. I'm into 10.
It. I didn't accept it. I just kind of knew who I was.
I had a tape recorder and I used to record people's conversations. So I would say you were doing much better. I'd hide under the bed, and they were so boring.
Yeah, right.
Because it would be like my grandma and her sister, It's like, well, that price of mush has gone up.
Like, oh yeah, great. Need to go get another perm.
I should have definitely recorded Beetlejuice. I loved it though. And full circle back to Catherine O'Hara from Schitt's Creek. She was the stepmom in Beetlejuice, the actual movie.
Oh, yeah.
One of my
she was not on the cartoon.
Time favorite movies.
Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
Beetlejuice?
Beetlegeist?
Beetlegeist?
I love that movie.
Oh. Yeah. I'm so at a loss. I'm not used to working before doing one of these. I'm used to having a whole day to look at shit on the internet.
Now
and
you're tired.
Be completely ready for everything, and now I'm exhausted and I'm ready to take a nap.
All right. What is your favorite childhood movie?
We just had this conversation last night with London and my mom. And
weird.
Well, London, my mom, and Jenny. We all just eating dinner last night, and London likes to talk because she's London. She's my kid.
Love her.
And I was told it was the Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid's my favorite childhood. Like, I love Ariel. I love that whole
Agreed.
like under the sea songs and all that
Yes.
shit. It's like one of my faves.
I always wanted to be Ursula, if we're being real, though, because I always thought it would be more fun to like play the bad person's part. And I thought she had an awesome song. I just remember being little and everybody else was like, part of your world. And I was like, poor unfortunate souls.
Sad,
but true. I loved it. If I didn't have a cold, I would join you.
Yeah.
I can't hit that.
I have a
right
cold
now.
too.
What is happening? I feel like
the
everybody
weather's
is
changing.
sick.
It sucks. It sucks. Everybody wanted colder weather, and I wanted it too.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to go from 80 to 30.
I agree.
I wanted where's like some 60-degree days.
Yes.
You know, I need some of that in my life.
It's going to be like
Sunny,
50 something
60.
today, and at least it's sunny, but it's too cold already.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing for the holidays?
I'm probably going to work on Thanksgiving until about noon or so. And
That's
I'm
not too bad.
I'm going to go over to Jenny's mom's house.
Perfect.
We'll eat there. What you got going on?
I'm going to go to my mom's.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I'm going to make some roasted radishes.
Roasted radishes?
An autumn salad.
This sounds phenomenal.
I think it's going to be really good. I pinned it on Pinterest.
You pinned it?
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited to eat anything right now that isn't what I'm currently detoxing. What if you just saw toxins coming out of my skin? That was my first thought.
They're jumping out at me. Get them away. Where's my toilet brush?
I've gotten really crunchy lately. I've been doing these like shamanic journeys. Have we talked about this? Like a shaman.
Okay.
So like shamanic journeys.
All right.
So it's like everybody is capable of journeying. It's basically, you know, when you're driving and then all of a sudden you realize you don't know where you've been for like 5 minutes and you're like, was that light red?
Road hypnosis.
Yes. So it's with a group of people and like my shaman leads it, and you can go in like either with a question that you have or just, you know, show me what you'd like to see.
Do they give you the ayahuasca tea?
No, but I am not against it. I don't want to throw up. That's all I've ever seen is like you violently get
ayahuasca
ill.
Would be just a crazy intense, and I don't think I could handle that. I don't think I could handle that.
I think I could.
Yeah.
I think I would for sure do it. I just like I watched Chelsea Handler do it and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
It was so she was barfing so violently. I'm like, I'm already on a detox, you guys. But the shamanic journeying is really cool because it's just, you know, like inward reflective time. And then, you know, if you believe in the afterlife, as I do, your spirit guides come in and like help you see things that you need to see.
So if you don't believe in the afterlife, what happens?
You probably wouldn't go to the journey.
Oh, okay.
But maybe not. I think it could still work for you. So basically they either play a drum or a singing bowl and like you just kind of zone out and then you either see things. I'm very auditory, so I usually hear things, but I've definitely seen things and it's like a little trip.
That's kind of neat.
Is so neat. I feel like I've discovered so much about myself in these things. But then it's funny because everybody will share. And so some people's will be like, oh yeah, you know, I found myself in like Willy Wonka. You know, it felt like it was a very playful time. Mine are never like that. Mine are so deep. And like, you know, this is who you really are. Shed this false shell of outer protection that no longer serves you. And all these really things that I find empowering. And I always have this moment of jealousy. Again, I'm a Scorpio afterwards because I'm like, I want mine to be fun. And then I'm like, no, you don't.
No,
you want it to be as deep as humanly possible. Your life is so fun.
Yeah. You have your fun.
Your life is the Willy Wonka. You came here because you wanted some answers and some confrontation.
Yeah. I've had to do a lot of soul searching.
It's fun. I heard you talking about how you've been feeling lately and that you're feeling better. I'm glad you're feeling better.
A lot better.
It's hard when the times are dark because it's
I mean, the times haven't gotten much brighter. I just have a brighter look at it.
Yes.
Like I guess you can say I have a brighter flashlight.
Well, I think that is all you have control over. And
yeah, that's
like
really literally it.
When you get to that point of just realizing everything is what the scope that I put on it. So if I tell myself that I feel like shit, then I feel like shit, you know?
Yeah. I think I was loosely explaining to somebody about that today.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not here to work because I want to work.
Right.
I'm here to work because I have to work.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, it's like the cleanse. It doesn't have to be delicious. That's not what you signed up for, girlfriend. So it's a nice place to get to. And that's not to say that there won't be more cloudy days, but it's it's hard when you don't experience that a lot. Or like, I know I was super depressed after me and my boyfriend broke up because it had been 4 years, but it was time. But like, I went into deep hibernation mode, and I'm just not used to feeling 100% sunny. That's how I operate most days.
Yeah, I'm used to not.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of people, though.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think anybody out there is like operating 100% happiness all the time. They're not all Ned Flanders.
Right. Yeah. My uncle looks just like him, by the way.
Yeah?
Uncle Kelly. Hidely dodily.
Shoutily outskily.
But it is hard when you hit those dark parts, or when like it just feels like there's no solution. But I was talking to somebody this past weekend, and I was talking about, you know, like one of the things that, you know, Jenny and I did for so long that really bonded us was our blog about losing weight.
Yeah. 2 Meatballs Get Fit.
2meatballsgetfit.com. And I was talking to somebody about, I turn everyone into my therapist.
Yeah,
so
I do too.
I love it. So I went for a massage, and I was like, hey, let me tell you about my life. And I was talking about how demoralizing it can be to think about starting over. And what I'm physically doing is pushing my hand down to the ground, because it feels to me like a vertical transition, you know, like you're starting over. So you're climbing back up to where you were and then trying to move forward. And I was like, that is really hard for me, talking about like getting back on track and, you know, feeling the shame for the weight that you've gained, because that's a really hard part. And she was like, oh, what if you thought about it horizontally? What if you just thought about it as like changing a path? And I was like, well, that seems way more positive. And it's so amazing that something that somebody can say to you like that, and you're hearing it in the right
simple,
moment.
And it makes so much sense. You're like, well, yeah.
I'm the only one who's thinking about it like that.
Instead of making it a hill that I have to climb,
yes,
just make it a different direction that I'm already walking.
I went left instead of right.
Right. Instead of left.
Right. Left.
Left.
Right.
To the left, to the left.
My most hated Beyonce song.
Really?
I hate it. And I
like
love everything about her.
But that was more Destiny's Child.
It was.
I'm a survivor.
I feel like I was at the Destiny's Child concert when they decided to break up. Like, it was when there were 4 of them, and they were opening for TLC. And they did
one of my favorites. That's another one of my. I don't even call them guilty pleasures. They're just one of my pleasures.
It's the best. I loved TLC growing up. But so there were 4 of them, and they did half of the show, and then only 2 of them came back out, like Kelly and Beyonce. And I was like, what happened? And they did the rest of the show, and I think they broke up after that. So that's what happened there.
Congratulations. You just broke the news that you broke up Beyonce and all the other Destiny's Child.
I think it was a win. Survivor came after that, so you're welcome.
Thanks.
And it was the worst TLC show I had ever seen.
Well, let's be honest.
It was bad.
I think they peaked a long time ago.
Yes. And that's not when I saw them.
And they are great on an album.
Yes.
And they're not so great probably live.
No, Lisa Left Eye Lopez came out in like full Joker gear and like was doing cartwheels and stuff on the stage. Now, it was the late 90s, early 2000s, and nobody was at their best, I feel.
Yeah, that was a weird time.
It was. I was just looking at old pictures today, and it was like, how bad could you have dressed? What worse choices could you have made, Beard?
I found, let's say, I hope to God I can find where I saved it. But I remembered that I went to Lilith Fair and
I loved all of those people.
I did too. And wait till you hear the lineup, if I could find it.
I'm excited. Sarah McLachlan.
Oh,
let me just guess. Jewel.
Yeah, Jewel was there.
Natalie Imbruglia.
Imbruglia, yeah.
Imbruglia?
I guess that's how you say it.
Imbruglia.
Imbruglia.
Natalie Imbruglia.
Oh, I think I had it bookmarked. I'm pretty sure.
That was my jam. I went to a Janet Jackson concert when I was 14, and it was basically Lilith Fair. It was great. I loved Janet Jackson.
Who opened?
Kitten?
Yeah, that's my cat.
Guess. I want you to guess, because I went and saw her twice, and 2 different people opened.
So you said it was
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson. And what year?
98. 1998. Just
19.
to be clear. Yeah.
Not 1898.
Right.
Or 2098.
Right. She wasn't even around then.
Oh,
I'll tell you.
I'm still trying to trying to find that other thing.
Usher opened, and it was incredible. He had just come out
of
My Way, those old songs. It was so good. And then NSYNC opened up for her the next time.
That's odd to me.
Well, it's when Janet got real poppy.
But it was in the 90s though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was when was it the Velvet Rope tour?
It was. Did you Google that or did you know that?
I'm trying to find that stupid the band
lineup.
list, the lineup for Lilith Fair.
Would you say that was the best concert you ever went to?
It was one of the memorable ones that I went to. I don't think it was the best one. I went with these two girls.
I love it.
And I think it was Brittany and her friend Christine.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I would say their last names, but that wouldn't make it any more relevant to you. And I don't know if they want their names on blast. So,
hey y'all,
hey y'all, I'm Gary.
Hey y'all, I'm Gary. That's my first memory of you.
It's an inside thing, but I'll put it out there eventually. Anyway, I fucking went and saw Lilith Fair. The shit was awesome.
What other concerts
that one
did
I went
you
and saw? Green Day. I saw them
when they were still good.
Yeah, and Red Hot Chili Peppers opened for them.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then
that had to be like a hurt pride feeling.
Well, that Red Hot Chili Peppers, it was a co-headlining tour. So when they were here, Green Day was the headliner. Their next show would have been Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I thought you were saying they straight up they were the opener.
Oh. No. They opened for them that night. And then I saw another one of my favorite ones ever was Foo Fighters.
Oh, I love Foo Fighters.
Red Hot Chili Peppers came with them too.
Opens for them.
Yeah, they did. Well, in all fairness, at that point in time, I think Foo Fighters was probably a little bit bigger than Red Hot Chili Peppers. But Red Hot Chili Peppers was pretty big still.
One of my clients told me they went to go see Red Hot Chili Peppers when they came the last time around, and they were like, it's gone. They've totally lost it.
I mean, they came out in tube socks on their cocks when I saw them. So, I mean, they still had it when I saw them.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's a dream.
I saw Aerosmith, and he was still doing backflips on stage. The Nine Lives Tour, 97, baby.
Oh, me and my cousin Christina would drive around chain smoking Newport mediums or milds.
Yeah.
And singing Aerosmith. I was real into Liv Tyler and Alicia Silverstone at that time, and they were in all the videos. So it was just
creepily in some of them.
So good.
Yeah.
I loved it. I had wallpaper that I hated in my bedroom because I got to pick it out when I was 6 because of the tornado. Yeah. So it was pink with little tiny pink and blue flowers, because at 6 you don't think about, I'll be 17 one day.
Yeah, well, that's why London's room is bright pink. And she's like, no, I don't like it anymore.
She's like, I'm over it.
And she's 6.
So I ripped out magazine pictures from YM, and it was all Alicia Silverstone. And I was just obsessed. I loved Clueless.
My walls weren't decorated with anything.
Oh.
Other than I would take and put my concert. Yeah, my tears. I would take and put my concert. I'd pin my concert tickets on the wall. The ones I went to, I did that, and then I'd hang posters and stuff. But
what kind?
Just band posters.
Titties and cars?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
I didn't have titties and car posters.
It just feels right for the time frame, not necessarily a dig on you.
Right. No. And I had this massive old school style big screen TV.
Oh, the real big wide ones?
Yeah, the ones that were 400 pounds and it took a team of people to move them.
And your room was 9 by 9? That's how mine was. So it was the whole room?
Super tiny room. Yeah. Super tiny room.
You jumped over it to get to your bed.
It basically, when you opened up the door to my room, that TV made a hallway. Mm-hmm. So that you could get into my room. It took up so much room. You had to walk in my room past it to get into it.
I love it.
So I just went with it, and I was playing PlayStation and stuff in there. And then we were all making skateboard videos, and I made that stupid home movie I made called The Poot Scoot and Horde Tootin' Billy Goat.
Why haven't I seen this?
Because the tape is floating around somewhere.
Oh, that's sad.
It's a videotape. And if somebody finds it, it's one of the old school VHS tapes.
Call to action.
Yeah. If
Come
you
up
find
with this tape.
Poot Scootin' Horn Tootin' Billy Goat, it's a ripoff of Blair Witch Project, and me and a bunch of my buddies made it.
That's not what I expected you to say.
Me and a bunch of my buddies made it in the backwoods behind our house. And
just try and walk me through it a little bit.
All right. So there's these guys.
Shaky cams.
Yeah, it's all single cam. We call him the Guy. Is his name. We just called him Guy. So he was the cameraman. And then my buddy Richard, I can't remember what his character name was. And then I played somebody else, and then my buddy played somebody else, and so on. But we just basically ran through the woods trying to get the Poot Scoot and Horn Toot and Billy Goat.
And how old were you?
Oh man, I was like 13.
Oh.
Maybe 14.
So this was a real gym.
Oh, yeah. If we could find this, it would be great. I would love to sit down and watch this again just for the sheer, it's so bad, it's good. Like, when
I was 13, me and my friends were in dance class at middle school. Like, that was one of the electives. And we did a dance to Spice Girls, Tell You What I Want, What I Really, Really Want. And I got to play Mel B, the rapper. And then it turned into Blackstreet's No Diggity, No Doubt. And I choreographed it, and it was like the most provocative dance because I just copied what the actual video was. And I've never understood boundaries, so I didn't understand that was not okay at middle school. And I wish somebody had a recording of that because it would be pure gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, obviously I'm Baby Spice, but I'll be Mel B. She's got the biggest part.
We went on, after we made that, we felt so fucking proud of ourselves that we went on to make like a buddy cop movie about Pimp Daddy Pete and having to shut down Pimp Daddy Pete. Yeah.
That sounds super racist.
No, it wasn't. Right. It just sounds that way, but it wasn't. And I
feel like if I were to watch it, it would be like Reno 911. A little bit.
It starts off pretty awesome. It starts off with like the Bad Company song.
Yeah.
Bad Company till the day I
love
die.
It.
And it's just
feel
me
like
and my
making
buddy.
Love.
No, it's just the Bad Company title track. But it's me and my buddy Richard walking down like this like sewer thing. And it's all like low angle and like black. I think it's black and white. And we're like walking, and then when we walk past the camera, and right at the right moment we'll turn around, we pop our collar and point at the camera, and then it like freezes. Ew. And then the movie starts. Oh, it's so great. Like, I wish I could remake it.
Brandon, do you watch Red Letter Media?
Never
like
heard
Best of the Worst?
Never heard of it.
Okay, you gotta find Best of the Worst, and it's partners, and it's exactly what you just described, except they're 40.
So they took it and did, like, so what you're telling me is another idea I've had.
Yes.
Has been done already.
It's so funny though. Like, everything that they do, they have to watch 3 terrible movies, and then they decide which one is the best of the worst. And it's hilarious. The first time Ben made me watch it, I was like, I'm gonna kill myself. I know that's not okay to say, but I hated it so much. I was like, they're bad movies. Why would I want to watch them?
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't make any sense. But the people are so funny. And like, eventually it just became this hilarious thing. And they have like these movies that are so bad they're great. You know, like, what's the name of that movie that we watched that one night that everybody loves with Tommy Wiseau?
Don't know who Tommy is.
Yes, you do. It's
I probably know the movie you're talking about.
Yep. They did a James Franco was in a movie about it.
Are you talking about...
Call in, please, if you know the name of this movie, because I can't think of it.
Yeah, right. Call in.
Tommy was... Yeah, call in.
Sure.
Here's my cell phone number.
Actually, I do have a hotline number, but you can't call it right now. Or you can call it, but it ain't gonna... You won't come through.
The Room. It's called The Room.
The Room.
Yes. After Lauren's wedding, you came over and we watched it, and he's like, oh, hello, doggy.
Did I watch that movie?
Yes.
I do not remember.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa. This guy has a like...
Did I watch? I don't think I watched that with you.
Yes, I can go down to the date.
Well, that's because somebody got married that day.
It's true, but I could do it without. But it's basically things like that. You find these movies that are so awful that they're wonderful, and it's hilarious. But it sounds like that cop movie is Partners. It's so good.
Do you remember the movie that James Franco did? And he plays like some gangster who kind of looks a little bit like Post Malone.
Yes, Spring Breakers.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't remember the name of that movie.
That movie fucked me up. I will tell you why. I used to smoke a lot of weed, and I was just too high when I watched it, and I was like, what's happening? Because all these young, cute girls had all these guns, and I was like, what is this? What is this supposed to be about?
Is it already 3:00?
Is it?
Yeah, it's coming up on it.
Time flies.
It does fly. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming out, Sarah.
Good to see you.
You too.
Love you.
We'll catch back up.
I can't wait.
So you staying busy at work?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's
I've
good.
moved some more of my hours over into like management and mentoring. So I'm only behind the chair like 9.5 hours a week.
Oh, that's great.
I know. I'm really happy. I love my clients.
Jenny seems like she likes you in that position too. Like she's
and
like,
I love that because that's always an interesting thing when you work with your best friend. You know, like I want to make sure that I'm still giving her everything I have. Yeah. And, you know, I think we've done it well.
Yeah.
She's got a promotion.
I know. I'm so proud of her.
I know. Me too. I could cry.
Yeah, me too. All right, Sarah. I appreciate it.
All right. Love you. Bye.